What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV and welcome to the detailed speed test between the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and the iPhone X. So in the usual format, we'll be doing a range of tests, looking at benchmark scores, then opening up some social apps, followed by some games and finishing off with RAM management. Now before we start, a side note, I am using the XNS version of the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, not the Snapdragon 845, and that is because the XNS version is the only one available in Europe. Now for those of you interested in benchmark scores, on a Geekbench for the iPhone X does score higher both for the single and multi-core. We'll see how this translates to real world performance. So kicking things off, you can see that we've got no other apps open in the background, and we're going to start off with Twitter, which does load up first on the S9 Plus. We'll go into notifications, although we've got slightly different content on both of these, so we'll go ahead and try out Instagram. And that was pretty much neck and neck, I would say. Going into my profile, faster on the iPhone X, opening up an image, faster on the S9 Plus. Now moving on to the Facebook Pages Manager. And that was quicker on the S9 Plus. We'll scroll a little bit down and we'll leave this open in the background. Let's move on to YouTube. Now we did finish first on the S9 Plus, although we've got some different content, so we won't take that test into consideration. Let's go ahead and play the top trending video, which is the HomePod, and that was slightly quicker on the S9 Plus. We're going to leave this open and let's move on to games. So firstly we've got Angry Birds 2, and you can notice this timer because we're doing things Super Saf style, and this will tell us exactly how long each of these take to open up these games. And Angry Birds 2 did finish first on the S9 Plus. Comes in a few seconds later on the iPhone X. Now we'll leave this open and let's move on to our next game, which is Mario Run. That was first on the iPhone X, coming in a couple of seconds later on the S9 Plus. We'll play the game, and that was also faster on the iPhone X. We'll leave this open once again and let's move on to the next game, Sonic 2. Quicker on the iPhone and about a second later, less than a second later on the S9 Plus. And loading up the game also very close, but quick on the iPhone X. Moving on to Temple Run 2. Quicker on the iPhone X. Coming in a few seconds later on the S9 Plus. Now we'll play the game and we'll leave it open. Subway Surfers. Very quick on the iPhone X. A few seconds later on the S9 Plus here. We'll play the game. Let's move on to Dead Trigger 2. Intro screen very quick on the iPhone X. Then we've got the S9 Plus. Now let's play the game. Once again, very quick on the iPhone X. Comes in a few seconds later on the S9 Plus. Now moving on, Asphalt 8. iPhone X again. A few seconds later on the S9 Plus. So far most of the games have loaded up quicker on the iPhone X. Now let's move on to our last game here, and that is Real Steel Robot Wars. Now I know these are a lot of games, but these will help us test the RAM management a little bit later on. And this time the S9 Plus does finish first. The iPhone coming in a few seconds later. That's quite interesting. Let's play the game. Quick on the iPhone X. Okay. Quite a few seconds later on the S9 Plus. Right, so let's go ahead and now test our RAM management. Asphalt 8 is open in the same place on both. Took a couple of seconds to load there on the S9 Plus. Let's move on to Dead Trigger 2. Also in the same place. Subway Surfers. Yep, same place. We can resume the game. Temple Run 2. Same place again, and we can resume the game here as well. Sonic Dash 2. Aha. This does have to reopen on the iPhone 10, but it's in the same place and we can resume it right away on the S9 Plus. Let's carry on. Mario Run. Once again, it is open in the same place on the S9 Plus, but it does have to completely reload on the iPhone 10. Moving on, Angry Birds 2. Same situation, it's in the same place on the S9 Plus, but it does have to completely reload on the iPhone 10. I do think this comes down to the fact that we've got more RAM on the S9 Plus, 6GB versus 3GB on the iPhone 10, and that is really showing here in this test. YouTube, same place, we can continue the video where we left it, but on the iPhone 10 it does have to completely reload. Oh, look there. Suggested video is the epic collab that I did with all of my friends here on YouTube. I'll link that in the cards if you want to check it out. Pages Manager. Same place on the S9 Plus, has to completely reload on the iPhone 10. So similar pattern here. And Instagram, once again on the image that we left it on the S9 Plus, but on the iPhone 10 it does have to completely reload. Final one is Twitter, right there where we left it on the S9 Plus, and although on the iPhone 10 we are still on notifications, it did have to reload the app. So there we have it guys, the detailed speed test between the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus and the iPhone 10. Some interesting results. When it came to some of the regular apps, they were overall quicker on the S9 Plus. But for the games, although the S9 Plus did have a couple of wins, the iPhone 10 overall did load up most of the games quicker. However, when it comes to RAM management, then the S9 Plus was definitely better, leaving everything open that we threw at it, whereas the iPhone could only hold 5 games in its memory and had to reload everything else. So what did you guys think of the results here? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. Generally speaking, both of these are some of the fastest devices out there, and I don't think you'll have a problem with either of them. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications. We've got lots more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time.